Welcome everyone, this is the Coaching Effectively presentation thanks to Cairns Hockey Association and myself, Rob Gronbeck from Cairns Sports Performance Clinic. I'm going to run through a couple of reasons why coaching effectively is really important. We're here at the Cairns Hockey rooms, so if there's a bit of background noise, bear with us, but it's just people playing out on the fields and we're restocking the bar. So we're going to look at why coaching effectively is really important. We're going to look at what effective coaching really is. I'm going to break it down. My background is in psychology, so it's all about looking at the research and what we've found from that. And then we're going to give you 4 key actions to really focus on, and 4 key actions to start to take out of your coaching repertoire if they are there. So let's get going. So why are you here? Why are we watching this video? Well, obviously coach education, you want to get better, and Matt's committed to making you and helping you guys to become the most effective coaches you can become. But for me, why is effective coaching really important? Well, you may be a parent yourself, and there are a lot of parental concerns in youth sports. We know that anywhere from 80 to 90% of parents are concerned with various things occurring, such as the risk of injury or the quality of the behaviours of their coaches. For example, 7 out of 10 parents are concerned about the growing time and financial commitment in youth sport. 80% of parents are concerned with injury, especially concussion. 85% of fathers are dissatisfied with the level of coaching. Probably surprises nobody. 2 out of 3 parents believe that there might be a bit too much emphasis on winning over fun. And yet, 8 out of 10 parents see youth sports as a valuable institution. So we know it's useful, but there are some worries and concerns. So that's why learning how to coach effectively can be a really important part of the youth coaching, because you've got your parents, you've got your administrators, and you've got your athletes and coaches. Everyone's important. So it's important to address those parental concerns, because they're the ones that drive the kids and pay the kids fees. So trends in youth sports participation is another big reason why coaching effectively is important. Unfortunately, you'll see the graph kind of looks like a lot of things are going down, except for one of those sports. I think golf is going up. Imagine that. Golf, hockey, not so different. So 80% of 11 or 12-year-olds are in sport, and yet only 50% of 16 or 17-year-olds are in sport. So between year 7 and year 8, there's a 42% dropout. So what's going on? There's 6 to 12-year-olds, there's a participation decline. And from 2008 to 2013, there was a drop by 4.5% in the overall youth participation. So I'm going to argue that a lot of that can be attributed to effective coaching, or in fact ineffective coaching, but we will get to that. Some of the reasons that we can highlight is the main one: no longer likes the sport. I'm going to argue that some of that again is due to club culture and coaching effectiveness. Lack of time, of course, we hear that everywhere, and desire or interest or lack of interest. Sometimes that is a manifestation of not enjoying themselves, and I'm going to show you that enjoyment is extremely linked to coaching effectiveness. Another trend that's really important, and why we want to keep our kids in sport and keep them coming back and enjoying their sport and not dropping out, is because of the rising level of obesity and mood disorders. 17% of kids are overweight compared to 5% a few years ago. We know that obesity is associated with type 2 diabetes and hypertension, and that the symptoms between obesity and depression are quite similar: lack of sleep, more appetite, behaviours of sitting around, and also a negative self-image. In fact, a Finnish study showed that if the child is obese at 14 years old, it's been associated with greater depressive symptoms later on in life. And we're seeing that the small graph there on the right is showing that as kids get a bit older, there's more depressive episodes. So they're at risk of obesity and mood disorders. The good news is that the physical activity and mental health are linked, and that's why this is important. That's why I'm going on about this. the British Journal of Sport Medicine published a recent review of reviews where they looked at all the reviews, which had already reviewed a lot of the studies, and they found that physical activity was linked with lower rates of depression, lower rates of anxiety, lower self-esteem. I got that wrong. That should be high self-esteem, and antisocial behaviour. So there's a drop in antisocial behaviour, and also increased cognitive function. We can see that image there, which shows the brain sitting quietly, and then the brain after a 30-minute walk. The brain is alive, it's being turned on. Unfortunately, by 2020, the mental illness burden for mental illness will be 15% of the global burden. So if there's anything we can do as coaches to ensure that our young people are healthier and happier and engaged in positive activities, then we're actually doing a global thing here. So this is the importance of a coach. I don't feel I'm overstating it. The value of extracurricular activities is really what we're talking about here. In Cairns a few years ago, 906 prep and year 3 students and mothers were investigated, they were researched. A strength and difficulties assessment was measured their borderline and abnormal behaviours. It was found that with 2 or more activities per week for 80 to 90 minutes, that is 2 trainings in hockey per week, lowered their SDA score. So they had lower abnormal behaviours and borderline behaviours. So there is a strong relationship between extracurricular activities and reduced antisocial behaviours. So again, the importance of coaching well and coaching effectively is so that we can keep kids and keep them involved in positive physical, social activities, which keep them healthier in the long run as well. So I hope you're already bought in. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but that is the real importance of being a coach.